Discover the incredible journey of a black woman who transformed Mockery into a life-changing success. Maya Wilson stood in front of her small apartment window, the cold Chicago chill creeping through the cracked glass. The city was alive with the vibrant colors of fall, but inside, her heart felt heavy. Bills cluttered her kitchen table like unwanted company, and the sneers from neighbors, another failed artist, echoed in her mind. Yet, a brush and a blank canvas called out, bringing her a sense of warmth. Each stroke of paint on canvas was a heartbeat, a reminder that beauty existed despite her struggles. She was a single mother of two, sweet Kayla and cheeky Jamal, and those tiny hands gripped her heart fiercely. Dreams of being an artist danced in her mind as her kids played at her feet. As the annual community fair approached, the weight of doubt pressed harder. Family members shrugged, shaking their heads. "Maya, when are you going to get a real job?" Their words stung, but what did they know about her soul? Every brushstroke she poured into her work was a revelation of hope. Maybe, just maybe, the fair could be more than a local event. It could be her chance to show the world that her art mattered. On the fair day, anxiety buzzed through Maya's veins like electricity. Setting up her small booth in the heart of the fair, her heart raced. Children laughed, food sizzled, and colorful stalls surrounded her, but the whispers of doubt slipped through the laughter. "She thinks she's an artist," someone sneered. Each mocking word felt like a thorn in her heart. But she couldn't let them snuff out the fire of possibility inside her. Then, calamity struck. A group of mischievous teens raced by, and in their chaos, they knocked over a display, her carefully crafted artwork crumpling to the ground in ruins. Despair gripped her, hot tears swelling in her eyes. Hadn't she fought for this moment? Just as she felt herself slipping, a voice broke through the haze. It was George, an older man with kind eyes and rough hands, carrying his own scars of rejection for chasing art. "Don't let him get you down, girl." He stepped forward, his presence like an anchor in the storm. George shared his story. Each failure on his journey was a step closer to triumph. Now, they worked together, their art blending like their journeys. In a heartbeat, the community began to rally around her work, hearts softening, walls breaking down. Just when hope blossomed like a wildflower, tension surged. Some folk still gripped by prejudice confronted Maya publicly, their shouts piercing the air. "You don't belong here." "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. In that charged moment, Maya felt her heartbeat quicken. She looked at her children watching her, filled with faith. This was her moment to rise, her chance to declare her worth amid the chaos, and finally step into the identity she had fought so hard to claim. Would she turn the tides of doubt into a tide of strength, or would the voices of the past drown her spirit once again? The crowd held its breath, eyes locked on her, waiting for her answer. Maya took a deep breath, grounding herself in the moment. The loud shouts faded just enough for her to hear the soft cries of her children, their hopeful eyes wide. She couldn't let them see her crumble. They believed in her. "Today is not just about art," she asserted, her voice steady. "It's about our community, our dreams, and our resilience." The crowd shifted slightly, the murmurs growing louder as people exchanged glances. She dug deeper, pulling from the places of hurt, the nights spent dreaming of a better life, and the laughter shared around the kitchen table. That warmth surged, and she spotted George at the edge of the crowd, nodding his encouragement. Her hands shook as she gestured toward her artwork, a vibrant collection of color and emotion, reflecting struggle and triumph. Art is more than just pictures on a wall. It's a reflection of who we are. I am Maya Wilson, a mother, a daughter, and yes, an artist. With every word, she felt her strength amplifying. We all have stories to tell. I invite you to join me, share your story too, because together, we can create something beautiful. A ripple of whispers surged through the crowd. Some scoffed, but others exchanged nods, curiosity lighting their expressions. For the first time, the resentment seemed to wane, replaced by a mix of intrigue and sympathy. Maya's heart raced as she realized that maybe, just maybe, they were beginning to see her. Jamal broke free from his sister's hand, rushing to her side. "You're the best, Mom!" he yelled, his little voice cutting through the tension like a knife. Laughter broke from the assembly, an unexpected bomb. The crowd's mood shifted, the hostility melting away into moments of shared humanity. Maya knelt down to Jamal, ruffling his hair. "Thank you, baby," she murmured, but her eyes darted back to the crowd. What mattered now was that they came together. She noticed unfamiliar faces moving closer, softened by the laughter. "Let us start today," George called out, raising his hands with enthusiasm. "Let us create a mural, right here, right now. A piece that tells our stories." The response was mixed, some still hesitant, but others joining in, voices rising in agreement and excitement. Together, they gathered supplies. With brushes in hand, she worked beside children, elders, and skeptics alike, while Jamal and Kayla dashed around, handing out paint and filling the air with laughter. Maya painted with a fierceness she hadn't known existed. Vivid colors swirled together, and the mural began to take shape under their shared guidance. Layers of history, love, and struggle emerged, blending with hopes for the future. As she painted, Maya found herself tearing up, awash in the overwhelming sense of belonging. Each stroke was healing, the canvas became a testament to resilience, whispers turning into songs of solidarity. The crowd grew, and eyes filled with appreciation as the mural flourished into a celebration of the community's spirit. But just as she felt the warmth of acceptance wrapping around her, a figure appeared at the edge of the gathering. A familiar face, twisted in disbelief, stared her down. Was it another neighbor ready to unleash more venom? The weight of the moment gripped her heart tightly. Everything seemed to hang in the balance as she prepared to face the unknown confrontation. Would this be another instance of prejudice, or could it be a turning point for understanding? Maya inhaled sharply, preparing to meet the gaze of her past. Would she finally have a chance to turn conflict into a bridge of understanding? Maya squared her shoulders, feeling the warmth of the sun against her skin, contrasting with the chill of the sudden tension in the air. The crowd hushed as the stranger took a step closer, the familiar face coming into sharper focus. It was Brenda, her former best friend from high school, and now, a woman she hardly recognized. Once united by dreams, they had been pulled apart by unspoken differences, like two paths diverging in the woods. "What are you doing here, Maya?" Brenda asked, her voice laced with skepticism. It was meant to be a simple question but dripped with judgment. Frustration bubbled within Maya, but she swallowed it down, desperate to make this moment right. "I'm here to share something beautiful," Maya replied, her voice calm yet firm. "Art has brought us together today, Brenda. It's about healing, about connection." Brenda crossed her arms, her expression unyielding. "You think a couple of paints and brushes can change anything? You think they'll suddenly see you as one of them?" The accusation hung heavily, and Maya's heart quickened. But instead of feeling defeated, Maya took another deep breath, grounding herself further. She stepped closer to the mural, pointing out the vibrant swirls and intricate patterns that reflected their shared histories and struggles. "Look at this!" she exclaimed. "It's not just about me. It's about us, our stories, our experiences." The crowd murmured again, voices softening as others joined in to share their thoughts about the mural. A few started to shout about their own stories. A glimmer of acceptance flickered in Brenda's eyes, and Maya seized the moment. "You were my friend, Brenda. You can be part of this too. We can build something bigger than ourselves." For a moment, the two women were locked in a profound silence, their past overshadowed by the present. That unbreakable bond of childhood nostalgia stirred within them, and the weight of misunderstanding began to wane. Yet, just as hope surged in her soul, Maya noticed Jamal and Kayla bouncing up and down, their excitement palpable. It was contagious, and laughter rippled through the air again. The mural was drawing attention, unifying the space with color and emotion, and Maya felt it in every inch of her being. This was a pivotal moment. Can we really do this? Brenda's voice seemed softer now, a hint of vulnerability breaking through her hardened exterior. Maya smiled warmly, an invitation within her gaze. Yes, we can. Together. From the crowd, George joined them, his enthusiasm bubbling over. Let us invite everyone to claim a piece of this mural. This is our chance to show the world who we are. His voice was infectious, igniting energy throughout the gathering. Maya watched as Brenda's expression began to shift. Hesitantly, she grabbed a brush, dipping it into a pool of bright yellow paint. This was a turning point, not just for Maya, but for her whole community. As Brenda made the first stroke on the mural, the surrounding crowd erupted into cheers. Maya felt tears prickling at the corners of her eyes. This was the reconciliation she had longed for. Transformation was taking place in real time, and she could feel it deep in her heart. Just then, another voice broke through the moment of harmony, louder and clashing with the joy that had begun to bloom. It was a man from the edge of the crowd, his words dripping with derision. This is meaningless. He shouted, gesturing dismissively at the mural. This isn't going to change anything. Maya's heart dropped. Could they really push through this? Could they transform not just the canvas but the hearts of those who refused to see? A hush fell over the crowd, uncertainty creeping in again. The moment teetered on the edge, and Maya felt the weight of expectation pressing against her. Would she rise to the challenge and defend their message, or would the shadows of doubt creep back in? Holding her breath, Maya prepared to speak once more. Can words turn the tide, or will they drown in the skepticism of a single voice? Maya's pulse raced as the crowd's energy shifted. Doubt hung in the air like a thick fog. She took a step forward, her heart pounding in her chest. It's not meaningless, she called out, her voice gaining strength. Art is a dialogue. It shows who we are and what we believe in. It tells our stories. The crowd shifted, people exchanging glances as her words hung in the chilly air. Brenda lowered her brush, surprise breaking through her skepticism. The man continued to scoff, but his voice began to fade into the background. Maya could feel the weight of the crowd's eyes on her. They were waiting. Look around you, Maya said, gesturing toward the mural. This isn't just paint on a wall. It's us, our pain, joy, dreams, and fears. Every color tells a story. Every stroke, a memory. Can't you see? George pumped his fist in support. Yeah. This is who we are. Together. His loud voice brought a ripple of excitement through the crowd, reigniting their earlier enthusiasm. Jamal and Kayla nodded, their cheers propelling Maya forward. The man from the edge of the crowd stepped closer, curiosity edging out his cynicism. You think a bunch of splashes of color can change the world? It's not that easy. His tone was still harsh, but Maya caught a glimmer of something. Was it intrigue? Change doesn't happen overnight, Maya replied, her voice steady. But it starts with small steps. It starts with us coming together, being vulnerable, and sharing who we truly are. She felt empowered by each word, building upon the belief she had buried for so long. A ripple of murmurs swept through the audience, a shared recognition sparking amongst them. Maya turned back to Brenda. You felt it too, didn't you? That connection. You picked up your brush for a reason. Brenda's eyes met hers, and suddenly the tension that had built between them began to crumble. I just thought, this wouldn't mean anything. Maya took a step closer. But this is about reclaiming our voices. It's about showing the world our strength. Together. A slow nod from Brenda encouraged others to join in. One by one, people began to pick up brushes, dipping them into the vibrant colors laid out before them. Maya felt a spark of hope ignite in her chest. Could this be the turning point they desperately needed? As the crowd painted together, laughter and chatter filled the air. The mural came to life in beautiful, chaotic strokes, every person adding their essence to the canvas. Even the derisive man had paused, seemingly captivated by the vibrant display of unity unfolding before him. But just as Maya felt that hope blossom, a piercing whistle cut through the camaraderie. A figure appeared at the edge, clipboard in hand, eyes scanning the scene with a disapproving glare. Maya's stomach tightened. Is this sanctioned? The newcomer demanded, authority dripping from the words. You need a permit to paint here. Maya's heart sank. Would their moment of connection be crushed just like that? Could they truly make a difference, or was this just another dream that would fade away? Determined, Maya turned to the crowd, her voice now fierce. We need to stand up for what we believe in. This mural is our right. Who will join me? Could they rally together to protect their creation? Would their passion be enough to spark real change, or would the shadows of authority silence their voices once more? Maya felt the air shift, thickening with tension as the newcomer's harsh words settled like a cloud over their vibrant moment. She glanced at the crowd. Faces were a mix of concern and determination. This was their mural, their story, and she knew they couldn't let fear silence them now. Do we really need a permit to express ourselves? She called back, her voice echoing in a way she hadn't expected, steady and passionate. Art belongs to the people. We're not just painting, we're sharing who we are. Isn't that worth something? The figure frowned, stepping closer. Without the proper channels, you're just vandalizing city property. You have 5 minutes to pack up. Maya's heart raced. She heard gasps and murmurs from the crowd. Jamal dropped his brush, expression somber. What do we do now? He whispered, casting a worried glance toward Maya. No. She shouted, taking a few steps toward the figure. We're not going to just give up because it feels hard. This mural means too much to us. A murmur of agreement spread through the crowd. George's fists clenched, and Brenda stepped beside Maya, her brush still in hand. We're not done yet, Brenda said, her voice gaining strength. This mural reflects our community. You can't just erase that. People are tired of being overlooked and dismissed, Maya added, her conviction rising. This is our moment. This shouldn't be silenced. The authority figure's expression didn't change, but something flickered in their eyes. A hint of doubt. Doubts could be seeds of change. Maya seized the opening. We're not asking for permission to live, to dream, to express ourselves. We're doing it. Join us. Show them what we can create together. Spurred by Maya's words, more people began lifting their brushes again, defiantly stroking bold colors onto the wall. The initial hesitance dissipated, replaced by a wave of creativity. Voices rose, laughter mingling with determination. They could do this, together. The authority figure hesitated, clipboard tight in their grip. This isn't going to end well for you, they warned, but Maya could sense a wavering resolve. Let it go, Maya replied, quieter now, almost pleading. Join us instead. Be part of this story. Her voice cut through the air as others chimed in, their voices rising a chorus of affirmation. Each brush stroke, each line on the mural, echoed their triumphs, their struggles, their unity. Slowly, the figure's arm lowered, and the grip on the clipboard loosened. Then, as if sensing the shift, a police car's siren wailed in the distance, snapping everyone's heads back in concern. Maya's heart raced again, every beat pounding with urgency. Would they be interrupted now? Would they be able to finish their mural? Her mind raced with possibilities. Could they turn this moment of potential chaos into an opportunity? Maya turned to the crowd, adrenaline coursing through her veins. This is it. We need to show the world our strength. Together, we can fight for our right to share our stories. Who else with me? The crowd erupted into cheers, colors flying high. Community was blossoming around her like the very hues they were painting. Maya took a deep breath, heart full, ready to face whatever came next. But just as the cheers reached a climax, another figure materialized at the edge, glancing up and down the street. Her eyes glinted with recognition. Sam. Maya whispered, disbelief washing over her. She hadn't seen her friend in years. Why was Sam here now, and what did it mean for their fight? Maya's heartbeat accelerated. Would Sam support them or bring further disruption? The answer hung in the air, waiting to unravel. Maya blinked, trying to process the shock of seeing Sam. The years melted away in an instant, memories flooding her mind. Sam had been her partner in crime, the one with dreams as big as the sky. But life had pulled them in different directions. Maya. Sam called, rushing forward. The moment felt electric. Her once vibrant curls had been traded for a sleek, new style, but her eyes, the same warm coffee brown, held the spark of familiarity. What are you doing here? Maya asked, heart pounding. The crowd fell silent, holding their breaths, feeling the weight of the past and the tension of the moment. I heard about the mural, Sam replied, her voice steady but breathless. I had to come. I couldn't let this go without saying something. Maya's heart ached. The last time they'd spoken, there had been misunderstandings, hurt feelings. Maya had felt abandoned when Sam moved away, chasing success in the art world far beyond their hometown. You're not here to shut us down, are you? She asked, vulnerability creeping in. No. No, Maya, Sam shook her head fervently. I'm here to support you. I was in the city, and when I heard the sirens, I just knew I needed to come. This mural, it's powerful. She gestured toward the wall, colors swirling like the emotions taking shape. Maya's chest tightened with hope. You really think so? Absolutely. This is who we are, Sam said, enthusiasm brightening her face. But we need to finish it. Together. Jamal, having stepped closer, nodded. With more voices, we can make this mural speak even louder. Sam, what skills do you have to help? A small smile spread across Sam's lips. I'm not just an artist anymore. I've taken my skills into community organization. I can help us rally more support, maybe even reach out to the local press. The crowd buzzed with excitement, visions of connections and alliances forming. Maya felt a shift, a beacon of hope shining through the fear. They needed that. They needed someone who could bridge the gap between art and activism just like Sam always did. But in that moment of unity, the police car turned the corner, lights flashing. Tension gripped the air again, and breathing became a challenge. As the sirens screeched louder, reality pressed down like a weight. Would they get to finish their mural? Maya, listen, Sam said softly. I know this could go south fast. We can't let fear win. We need a plan. Okay. Let us brainstorm while we paint, Maya replied, determination surging through her. Every passing second drummed louder now, pulses quickened in unison. Hands dipped into vibrant paint, colors danced across the wall, bright and fiery like their spirit. As they painted, the sirens echoed ominously, yet within their hearts, hope grew stronger. Each stroke was a defiance against fear, a declaration that they had every right to tell their story. Someone from the crowd shouted, let us show them what we can do together. Others picked up the chant, their voices steady and fervent. Maya could feel the distance between fear and courage narrowing in this vibrant moment. They were all part of something bigger. But just as excitement peaked, Sam's phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced down, her brow furrowing. What is it? Maya asked, scarcely able to keep her focus on the mural now. It's a message, from the community center, Sam said slowly, apprehension in her voice. They received an anonymous tip about our gathering. They're sending reinforcements. We need to act fast. As Sam shared the implications of the message, Maya felt the ground shift beneath their dreams like a well-laid plan about to topple. How could they protect what they believed in? Could the power of art be enough to stand against the system? The sirens faded into the background as Maya and Sam locked eyes, both women filled with the urgency to unite their flash of hope against the rising threat. "Let us get to work," Maya said, determination blazing in her soul. And as paint splattered onto the wall, she realized they would fight for their community, a community they would never let fall silent again. But just as they regained their footing, the crowd's cheers turned to gasps. 2 police officers stepped from the car, surveying the scene. "This is going to get complicated," Sam whispered, a hint of fear in her eyes. Maya felt an electric jolt of connection and resolve. What would they choose to do next? Would they push back or hold steady? The answer lay just ahead, waiting to unfold. Maya's heart raced as she took in the sight of the officers stepping out of their car. Their uniforms felt like anchors in a sea of uncertainty, heavy and imposing. The crowd's energy shifted, a wave of apprehension sweeping through as eyes darted from the officers to Maya, Sam, and the half-finished mural behind them. "Stay calm," she urged, though her voice trembled slightly. The colors on the wall seemed to pulse, vibrant yet fragile under the weight of impending confrontation. "What's the plan, Maya?" Jamal asked, worry creasing his brow. Around them, the others fidgeted, their bravado faltering in the face of authority. Maya swallowed hard. "We keep painting. We don't let them silence us. This mural is our voice," she insisted, fists clenched around her brush. "But we need to be smart about it." Sam stepped closer, urgency lighting her features. "Maybe we can show them what we're doing first. If they see it's about community, not chaos, that could work," Jamal replied, his eyes brightening a bit. "Get them involved. Show them we're not just a bunch of kids messing around." Maya nodded, her mind racing with a plan. "Okay. Look, everyone," she called to the crowd, wrapping them in her determination. "When they get closer, let us explain our mural. We're not just painting walls, we're telling a story about our community's fight and our dreams." As if on cue, the officers began to approach, their expressions unreadable. "Excuse me." One of them called out, the authority in their voice commanding instant quiet. "What is going on here?" Maya stepped forward, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "We're creating a mural to express our thoughts on community, unity, and hope," she explained, sweeping her hand across the colorful wall. "It's a tribute to where we live and the struggles we face. We want to share our story." The officers exchanged glances, the tension palpable. "You realize you need a permit for this, right?" The other officer replied, his tone softer but still firm. "Yeah, but," Maya started, but Sam swiftly jumped in. "We understand. We'll get it sorted. But would you consider backing our project? We're here to promote peace, and this mural is dedicated to inspiring the very community you serve." Maya held her breath, uncertain of how they'd react. To her surprise, the first officer's expression softened. "When was the last time anyone asked us for support?" he remarked, just loud enough for the growing crowd to hear. Maya noticed the subtle shift in the officer's demeanor. Perhaps there was a chance for connection rather than confrontation. "So, if we finish this mural," added Jamal, "would you be open to coming back and seeing it? Maybe even being part of the unveiling?" The officers exchanged another look. Maya could almost see the gears turning. This wasn't just about art, it was about being seen, about demanding acknowledgement. "All right," one officer finally said slowly, "but we'll be back to check on your progress. It better not turn into a riot in the meantime." He tried to keep a stern face, but Maya could see the hint of a smile behind it. "Deal." Maya replied, unable to hide her grin. The crowd erupted into a cheer, a wave of relief washing over them. With newfound energy, they returned to the mural, laughter and chatter filling the air. The threat now seemed distant as colors splashed against the wall, a fresh layer of hope added to their work. "We can do this," Sam breathed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "But now what's next? How do we make sure the story gets out there? We need to make noise before they try to silence us again." Maya grinned, her mind whirring with possibilities. "We'll create a social media campaign. Maybe even plan a community event around the unveiling. We'll gather supporters." "Yes." Jamal chimed in enthusiastically. "We'll make it a festival, food, music, everything." With plans swirling around them, a determined energy propelled them forward into their vision of unity and resistance. But just as the ideas began to take shape, Maya glanced back toward the police officers. As if sensing her gaze, they were now talking into their radios, and unease clawed at her. What if the support they envisioned crumbled again? What if more were coming to stifle their voice? "Just don't forget," Sam said, her tone suddenly serious. "This isn't over. The real battle has just begun." Maya nodded, and as the paintbrush moved across the wall again, she felt the weight of their reality settling heavily once more. What would it take for them to complete this mural and their mission for change? Could the flame of their hope survive this fight, or would the system extinguish it before it burned bright? The answers lingered in the air, tantalizingly close yet compellingly out of reach. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting warm hues over the mural as Maya and her friends poured their hearts into every stroke of paint. Laughter mingled with the sound of brushes gliding across the wall, but the unease lingered, like a shadow at the edge of a bright day. What had felt like a victory still carried the weight of uncertainty. "Okay, let us focus on the elements of our story," Sam suggested, refocusing the group's attention. "We need to highlight our experiences, our resilience. Every color should mean something." Maya nodded. "Let us make sure our past, our culture, and our hopes are visible. This wall should reflect everything that makes us who we are." As they painted, a collective energy emerged, fueling their resolve. Jamal added magenta bursts of color, representing their struggles, while Sam layered strokes of blue to symbolize their dreams. Maya's brush danced in brilliant yellows and greens, the sunlight reflecting off the vibrant paint as if to affirm their mission. But Maya couldn't shake the feeling in her gut. She couldn't ignore the police officers, the radios, and what lurked just beyond the edge of the scene. Underneath the excitement, doubt simmered, the officers might not return alone. Hours later, when they finally stepped back to survey their work, the mural transformed into a living tapestry of their community. Through it all, Maya felt a sense of pride swelling within her, despite the nagging apprehension. The once blank wall now shouted their message loud and audacious, just as they had hoped. Cheering erupted among their friends and neighbors, who had gathered to witness the mural's progression. The realization that they could create something beautiful together lit up the air. Yet, glancing at the approaching dusk, Maya's heart raced again. Was this just the calm before the storm? "Let us take some photos," Sam exclaimed, pulling everyone together for a group shot in front of the mural. Phones clicked and laughter filled the air. Maya smiled, trying to bury her anxiety beneath the joy of the moment. But as the laughter faded and shadows lengthened, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming. Suddenly, a loud voice sliced through the evening. "What is going on here?" Maya turned sharply. A different set of officers had arrived, their stance tough and military-like. The crowd fell silent, eyes wide with fear. The euphoria of the moment shattered like glass. "What is this? Unauthorized activity?" One officer barked, stepping forward. "We're creating a mural," Maya found her voice, propelled by a mixture of anger and fear. "It represents our community's hope and resilience." The officer looked skeptical, eyes scanning the vibrant wall. "You think art is enough to shield you from the law? You still need a permit." An uneasy silence stretched, each heartbeat echoing loudly in Maya's ears. The former excitement dimmed and the proud smiles turned to taut lips. Would everything they built come crashing down in one moment? We thought we could work together, Sam started, her voice faltering. Together? The officer sneered. You'll need more than that if you want to stay out of trouble. Maya felt her breath quicken. The gathering had turned from unity into division with just a few words. Their hard work was threatened, teetering on the brink of destruction, the bright colors around her feeling muted in an instant. Listen, she snapped, frustration boiling. This community deserves to be heard. This mural matters. Who do you think you are? The officer shot back, the threat in his tone palpable. The crowd tensed, shifting uneasily, and Maya felt a swell of fear wash over her. Just a young woman standing up for what is right. She declared, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. But inside, questions swirled like storm clouds. Would courage be enough to shield them from the weight of authority? And if they fell, how far would their dreams sink? The officer stepped closer, jaw tight. You really want to push this? As the standoff intensified, Maya's heart raced. Just beyond this confrontation lay the hope they had fought for, but would they still grasp it, or was this the moment it all slipped away? And amidst the uncertainty, she sensed something bigger was stirring. This wasn't just about a mural anymore. What if this was the beginning of a much larger fight? The air crackled with tension, the murmurs of the crowd turned to whispers, fragile and faint under the weight of the looming threat. Faces went pale, and Maya felt the fragile unity they had built begin to crack. This wasn't just a painting anymore, it was a battle for their voice, their identity, their very right to exist as they were. Back off, Jamal said, stepping protectively in front of Maya. His expression was fierce, his eyes dared the officer to challenge him. The officer's brow furrowed, caught off guard by Jamal's defiance. Jamal, please, Maya whispered urgently, but her plea was swallowed by the bubble of anger growing amongst the onlookers. The officer narrowed his eyes, assessing Jamal's stance. Or what? You'll get yourself in deeper trouble. Maya could feel the crowd's energy shifting. They had been calm moments ago, brimming with hope and pride. Now they were on the verge of chaos. Officer, we're not trying to cause any trouble, Sam interjected, a quaver in her voice. We just wanted to share our stories to show who we are. And we have every right to do that, Maya added, rising against her fears. This mural speaks for all of us. It's not just paint, it's our truth. You can't shut it down. A few supportive murmurs rippled through the crowd, emboldening her. It wasn't just her strength they needed, it was the strength of everyone around them. This isn't a game, girl, the officer challenged, stepping forward again. You think your words will save you? You think you can just paint what you want without consequences? Maya's heart pounded in her chest, she could feel the heat of unshed tears prickling at her eyes. Doubt teased at the edges of her mind. Did standing up against this wall of authority really matter? But she couldn't back down. The only consequences here are the ones you create by refusing to listen. You're the one with the real power, she said, her voice growing steadier with each word. But strong as you are, we're just as strong and we will stand together. Silence hung heavy as the officer's gaze bore into Maya, searching for weakness. But all he found was resolve. For a heartbeat, it felt as if the world stilled, the fading light enveloping them in a cocoon of uncertainty. Then a voice rose from the crowd, "Don't let them silence you." The words sparked a fire, and a surge of support erupted among the onlookers. A chorus of agreement and encouragement swept the tension aside, creating a shield around Maya and her friends. "We will not be afraid." Another person shouted, emboldening others to chime in. Maya could scarcely believe what she was seeing, a movement igniting before her eyes. The officer glanced at his partner, frustration visible on his face. He might have been the one with authority, but here against the chorus of their voices, he was losing ground. "All right, enough. The officer barked. This is your warning. Get a permit or face consequences. We'll be back with that. He turned abruptly, his face taut with defeat. As the officers walked away, a shocked silence fell before it shattered into applause and cheers. Maya's heart swelled, a mixture of relief and renewed hope. They had stood their ground, and the support of their community washed over her like a warm tide. But as soon as the shouts of victory echoed, a new doubt crept in. Are we truly safe? She wondered aloud, looking around at her friends, their faces lit with triumph yet shadowed by worry. We will have to be ready for whatever comes next, Jamal said, determination setting in his features. This isn't over. And at that moment, the realization struck Maya like lightning, what they had done today was just the beginning. If they truly wanted change, they would have to fight for it, every step along the way. As they stepped back together, gazing at their mural, their proclamation, it was clear they had sparked a flame. But would that flame be enough to keep their voice alive against the storm of resistance? And deep within her, Maya felt that anticipation and anxiety blend. Today was just a chapter in a larger story yet to unfold. What would it take to turn their hope into an unstoppable movement? The sun dipped below the skyline, painting the horizon with the colors of change. Maya stood with her community, her friends close by her side. The mural, their creation, shimmered as if holding the weight of their stories. The crowd buzzed, still electric from their recent standoff. Hope and fear danced in the air, a push and pull of emotions swirling around them. Maya turned to Sam, who beamed with pride. We did it. We stood up. A mural, and from that, we might just change things. But a part of her whispered doubts, would it be enough? Could art truly speak louder than the entrenched systems that sought to silence them? The cheers around them echoed in her ears. But this isn't the end. Maya shouted, raising her fist high. This is the beginning of making our voices heard loud and clear. The crowd rallied behind her, their shouts cascading through the air, fueling her strength. She felt like she was breathing fire, everything she had fought for came rushing to the surface. Just then, Brenda stepped forward, the weight of uncertainty gone from her shoulders. You all inspire me, she called out, her voice ringing true. Let us take this mural and bring it into the heart of the city. Everyone needs to see it and hear our stories. There were nods of agreement, the spark igniting into flames of determination. Before the night fell completely, they made plans to organize an unveiling event, inviting the local community to celebrate. The idea of turning their mural into a festival, music, laughter, and stories filled the air with excitement. Maybe the mural could be a bridge between them and the world outside their neighborhood. As they painted late into the evening, more townspeople appeared, drawn by curiosity and newfound courage. They joined in, bringing new colors and stories to their canvas. Even people who had been reluctant began to associate with what was happening. Each brush stroke coalesced into something larger than any one of them could have imagined. But despite the excitement, the shadow of uncertainty loomed. The officer's warning echoed in her mind like a battle cry. What if they were met with more opposition? They needed to strategize. Okay, everyone. Maya clapped her hands to gather everyone's attention. We need to ensure we're prepared. We're not asking for permission to express our stories, but we do need to know how to navigate what comes next. Our event will spread the word, but we also need to hold on to our resolve. If they try to stop us, we stand together. The crowd cheered in affirmation, voices melding into a chorus of unity that wrapped around her like a protective cloak. Maya could feel the energy of the group, their shared passion warming her spirit. Then her eyes found Jamal, still fired up, his small hands clutching a paintbrush. Can I speak? He piped up, innocence and conviction threading his words. Yes. Absolutely. Maya smiled, overwhelmed with pride. I want to invite kids from the neighborhood, too. Everyone should join. We're all part of this city. He said, And the crowd erupted into cheers as he spoke. The authenticity of a child's voice cut through the veil of uncertainty, and for a moment, it dispelled fear. Sam hoisted Jamal onto her shoulders, and he beamed down at the crowd. Let us make our stories known. With every color we paint, we're sharing our dreams too. At that moment, something shifted. Realizing they were not just defending their canvas, they were creating a movement. Maya felt a rush of exhilaration. If they could involve this many people, gathering voices across the neighborhood, they could spark real change. As the stars began to twinkle overhead, each stroke of paint felt like layering hope over despair. They laughed, they sang, and they painted until their hands ached, and in that spirit, the walls of their community absorbed the courage they poured into every hue. Later that week, the unveiling arrived. Families set up tables filled with homemade treats, vibrancy soaking the atmosphere. Musicians played rhythms that echoed the heartbeat of the neighborhood. Maya stood in front of her mural, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. When the sun finally dipped behind the horizon, the moment became alive. This mural is more than just paint, Maya declared, voice ringing with resolve. It's a testament to all of our hopes, struggles, laughter, and love. Today, we share what lives within us all. With a wave, a curtain was pulled back. Gasps erupted, and then cheers followed. The mural stood proud, its colors alive, telling stories that wrapped around the crowd and connected them, resilient and unbreakable. And in that moment, Maya knew they had transcended fear. Each face in the crowd reflected the essence of the vibrant mural, a tribe woven from shared experiences, bound by the revelations of their histories. As the night faded into a lively celebration, laughter rang out and connections deepened. Relationships forged through understanding, acceptance, and unity bloomed like the colors splashed on the wall. Maya, standing amidst it all, felt the swell of a community transformed. And in that moment, she understood, they wouldn't just resist prejudice, they would uplift one another, rise stronger, and keep their voices echoing. Together, they were unstoppable. Now is the time to join this journey. You need to subscribe now for the next chapter of hope and transformation. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and let me know how this story inspired you. Share instantly with at least 5 friends who need to hear this powerful message. Your support matters. Don't wait not even one more second.